Good morning, my beautiful friends. How are you today? I am doing well. Before I get started, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you to all of the people that reached out to me regarding my daughter being in Florida at this horrible time with the hurricane and all that. I was so overwhelmed by kindness. I was in tears because of her. I was in tears because of you and your kindness. I just want to say thank you. I cannot tell you how many people reached out to me that lived in Florida that said they would go get her from the airport if she got stranded. And it's just, I am speechless, and that doesn't happen often. Thank you very much. So today I'm going to do something really simple and quick. I am going to we'll try to use up the rest of these pre-mixed colors from Artist Loft. They work well for me, very well for me, but I won't be buying them again because economically they're just too expensive when I have to try to create a video at least, a couple of times a week. It's just not financially responsible for me to do so. But for the new person that wants to try acrylic pouring, that wants to see if they just like it in general, I think that they're fine. You don't have to go broken and buy every single color. Get a red, yellow, blue, and a white or a black. And you can make a lot of colors out of red, yellow. Well, you can't make a lot. You can make purple and green, but I'm just saying you don't have to buy a purple and green also. So it is what it is. If you want to try them out, see if you like pouring before you go and invest in pouring mediums and Floetrolls and all this other stuff. It's a good way to see if you like it, if you want to do it. So today I'm going to be doing a figure 8 pour, and I'm going to be able to show you what it looks like when it's dry because I've done one already. I haven't filmed it, but I did one on my own to see how it turned out. A figure 8 pour is kind of like a reverse infinity pour, except you only use 1 cup instead of 2 cups. I know Mixed Media Girl has her infinity pour, and if you haven't seen that, I'll link her in the box below to check that out, where she takes 2 cups filled with paint and she does this. Okay, so it's like a reverse double Dutch. Maybe I should do it this way, do a double Dutch pour. Anyway, these techniques, a lot of them are the same, just with different names. So this, though, I'm going to put the paint in the cup, and I'm going to do a figure 8 or a racetrack, okay? Just like this. And then we're going to stretch it out, trying to leave some negative space on the canvas, and we'll see how it goes. So I have here an 11 by 14 cup canvas. I have my cup right here. And I'm just going to start pouring in some paints. Now, I have here a metallic white pre-mixed color. I have not used this one yet. So I'm going to give it a little shake because it's been, actually I have one that's open here. I wouldn't shake them too crazy, just give them a little shake. I'm not sure. They don't look like they separate, but I'm sure that they do separate a little bit. And I'm going to pour just a little bit in the cup like that. No silicone. So these are straight out of the bottle. Then I'm going to use the turquoise. The consistency is pretty good on these. If you ask me, it's not too bad. So with my blue, I want to make purple, so I'm going to add red in next, and this is the bright red. Okay, just a little bit. Then I'm going to add in a little yellow to make an orangey color. These colors are semi-transparent, meaning you can see through them a little bit. So just keep that in mind. And then I'm going to add some phthalo blue on top of that yellow to make green. Then I'm going to add white again. And we're going to start all over. Turquoise. Red. Yellow. Blue. And a little more white. Okay. Easy peasy. So now you take your cup, put it to the side. One of my legs are not in even here. That's why my canvas is bouncing up and down. Yeah. Either that or the canvas is not straight. But I'm pretty sure it's the leg. I'm just putting my caps on here so that I don't have a huge accident, which I will if I don't put the caps on. All right, so now I want to flood the canvas in white, the metallic white. Someone asked me, why is it that people put a base coat down on their canvases before they paint? And for me, the reason why I put it down is it helps the colors that you pour on top glide easier and they don't roll over onto themselves. So if you pour some paint on a canvas and you tilt and you look at it, the paint is actually rolling over on itself. So now if you're doing something that has a design in it, that design is going to be interrupted because it's rolling over on itself. That's the easy explanation. As for the torching, I get a lot of questions about that also. You have to pop the bubbles and you kind of need a torch to do it. You can't do it with a heat gun because the heat gun will cause a layer of crust on the paint and ruin your painting. A blow dryer will not get rid of them because think about it, you're blowing air into the paint, which is causing more bubbles. So if you're afraid of using a torch, these are little handheld torches. I have this linked in my Amazon shop. If you do get it, you have to buy the tank to refill it. It's very simple. I'm going to show you right now. Always have a fire extinguisher around if you work with any type of flame. So this is the refill for it. It's this simple to refill. You stick the nozzle in there and that's it. You hold it, mine is full so I don't have to do it for long, but I think it's like 10 seconds and you pull it out, all done. It's that simple. They're They may look scary, but they're not. The only other thing I can think of is using one of those grill lighters. If you don't want to use an actual torch, it has a flame on it. It's going to take you forever to pop the bubbles, but it's better than nothing. Another thing you can do to reduce bubbles, especially if you're mixing your paints, is you can mix your paints and let them sit overnight and allow the bubbles to pop naturally. All I know is if you don't pop these bubbles, what's going to happen is they are going to pop on their own while they're curing. And then you're going to have little pinholes in your painting. So it's absolutely necessary to pop them, sadly. If they're there. If you have paint that doesn't have them in there, you don't, But most times there are air bubbles. So I'm just stretching this out on my canvas to cover it. Go over the edge there, come back. By the way, I have, you can see the back taped with little push pins for feet on it. This way, if it turns out horrible, it can run away in embarrassment and cry in the corner. And if it comes out pretty, it could dance a little dance. Maybe the two-step foxtrot, the cha-cha side, Macarena. All right. One more corner here. I like to spread my paint like this just because it's such an even surface. You do waste a little bit, but you're always going to waste some paint when you're spreading out your white, your base coat. Right, so run my finger along the sides, make sure they're coated. When your painting's done, always run your finger under it to remove the drips. You could do it a couple of times. This way it won't drag your pattern off of the canvas. So those drips, they keep pulling and pulling the surface paint. And now we're ready to go. So I'm going to take my cup. I'm not going to pour from the side that I poured the paint down, because if there's any clumps or bumps or anything like that, it could disrupt the pattern. I'm going to switch the cup to the clean side, pinch it, try not to drop it, because now I have paint all over my hands. And here we go. So I'm going to start big and work my way into the center. Well, that is a really wonky 8. And I totally just didn't do what I said I was going to do. Well, it's a wonky 8. We'll say that. Try not to let it drip like I just did at the end right there, because that will mess up the pattern. And I think I may have put too much blue in here. And I'm just going to start stretching it side to side. And I'm going to look at the two sides. Okay, so this is one side, this is the other side. And I'm going to say, what's going to give me the better outcome? Which way do I want the paint to go off of the canvas and have that side open up more? So I'm looking and I'm thinking this side is going to come out prettier than this side. So I'm going to let the paint go off more on that side. I will let it off on the other side too, but not as much. Just a little bit. Just back and forth. When you start getting to the spot where you don't have that much paint left to run off, then go up and down a little bit. And just start looking at it, see which areas you think you like better. You can hold it on one side here to make it stretch diagonally. Same thing, I'm going to hold it just on this corner and stretch it diagonally. So I'm looking at this and I'm going to stretch off a lot more of this side. I thought that side would have been better, but so I could tell you right now what muddied this up a little bit, and that was layering that turquoise in there next to the red. So what I'm going to do, because I'm not happy with this, I'm going to do a hard tilt here. All right. It's pretty wonky looking. Not too shabby. I think though, let's see. To go off that way. And then let's come down this way. Same thing. Let's get that yellow to open up a little bit. Holding it on the corner again. Okay. So I'm okay with that. Now, I'll show you this way. Like I said, when you're using transparent colors, it's very easy to muddy up the colors when you layer them in a way that they shouldn't be layered. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to torch it really quick. And then I'm going to show you what this painting looks like dry, because as I told you, I did one already. Just give it a quick torch. Yeah, it's something different versus the same old thing all the time, you know. There's a lot of beautiful techniques out there, but I get bored quick. I don't want to do the same thing over and over and over. All right, so let me show you this. Now this doesn't have varnish or anything on it. Here's the one I did. You see how shiny that dries? Now that's just paint straight out of the bottle. It's a beautiful finish on it. So that was the first one I did on my own, just testing it out. And I thought it looked kind of funky. So there's the second one. And with that, my friends, I am going to end this video. Maybe I lied. Let's do one more quick one. I have this canvas that I scraped off, as you can see. See, it's not only you, believe me. We all have our bad days. All of us. So, it's not just you. I'm just hoping that... I believe this is primary elements, but there shouldn't be any water in this paint. Sometimes the water reactivates those a little bit, but we'll see what happens. Worst case scenario, I trash it. So for this one, we're going to do something different. I did the figure 8. I was playing around last night, and we're going to see if I can do this again. It's a beautiful pearl white. That metallic white of Artist Loft. So I was playing around last night with how I was moving the cup, and I'm going to show you what I was doing. It came out looking like a geode in the end. Of course, it's very easy to make a geode with acrylic paint. Just do a ring pour. Pour your paints in a puddle, in a ring, and stretch them out. Boom. There you go. There's not much to it. Instead of wasting everybody's time, let's just do this. Okay. So I have a little itty baby cup here. I'm going to put some white in. Some of the phthalo blue. pouring it down the side of the cup. Woo. That one got a little excited. I'm going to grab the crimson red for this. It's a little bit of a darker red compared to this. Then the yellow. So red, yellow, and blue. Pour. No turquoise this time. Some more white. Blue. Maybe we'll stick with, nope, because that's going to be too much yellow next to each other. Sorry, guys. All right, red. That's enough. That's enough. So we may not get green because I didn't put the blue and yellow really together. I separated it with white, but we may get a little bit. So again, I'm not going to pour from the side that I poured the paint, and I'm going on the other side. And this is all I was doing. Oh, hold on. Got a torch. Okay. I was holding the cup like this, and I started pouring straight on. And then started going back and forth like this. Stretching out longer and longer each time. This is a smaller canvas, so I can't go too long. So if you had a long enough canvas, you could do the angel wings probably that way. So now I'm going to stretch it a bit. First back and forth. And side to side. Maybe go off this way a bit. Come back down. I'm going really fast with the tilting. That way, come back up. And then stop. Stop right there. And that was it. Kind of cool. Call it a side pour. Again, don't know if there's a technique out there that does it exactly like that, but if there is, kudos to that person. I just wanted to show you what I was doing last night. And there you have it. Now, you won't get cells in this paint unless you use silicone. I mean, you may get some little specks where the air bubbles pop and you're just seeing the white base underneath, but those are not cells. If you want cells, you have to use silicone with this. So, my friends, now I am going to sign off. I hope that you all have a beautiful day. And leave your comments below. If you're looking for a place to talk to like-minded folks in the art world and see some pretty art, you could check out my Facebook group, United We Pour, with Tammy and Lisa Wyatt Art. She also has a YouTube channel. You could check her out. She runs the group with me. And all the links are in the description. As for these paints, you have to buy these at Michael's if you want to try them out. So yeah, it's a cool, funky design. So what I was talking about Geode before, sorry about my light. What I did last night was I stretched it out like this, and then these little, see, you could see one forming right here. Well, one that formed. These little corners here, I did like little mini puddle pours. And could have turned it into a geode if I wanted to, but yeah. So just something different to do, guys. I'm not saying that it's the best thing around because it surely is not. Just something fun to try out. Something easy for new pourers. All right. So I hope you guys all have an amazing day. And by the way, the color art contest has come to a close. Voting will open soon. I will let you know when that is. You can go in there and vote for your favorite artist piece. And that they get a chance to win a gift certificate for products. Most of the people that entered do have channels, so that helps them tremendously to get some free products. So I will let you know more about that. And I will be posting the giveaway video later today for sure. So be on the lookout. I will talk to you later. Have a great day. Happy pouring.